Hi everyone, this is Shang. Today I'll show you how to make paper flowers. First, I'll show you the different sizes and different styles that I've made. Next, I'll show you the tools and supplies that you'll need. Third, I'll show you how to make them. Let's start with the different types of styles that I've made. I've made this flower. The second type of flower I have is like a medium size. Just like that. Third is another medium size type of flower. Looks just like that. I'll show you more medium size flower here. Here's another example. And this is a third type of flower. The edges here are curved or rounded. Here's a different style. This is the last style, and this is one of the smaller size flower. Some tools and supplies that you'll need for this project is a scissor. I recommend that you buy a scissor that has a cushion and that fits your finger really well. Next, the type of paper to create the giant size is a 12 inch by 12 inch. For me, I prefer this type of paper because it's thick and it's colorful. The brand that I use is a Craft Smith. And I will link some of these information in the bottom of this video in case you missed it or I mispronounced something and you just didn't catch it. To create flowers are like the medium size to like anything smaller, I recommend this type of paper. It is an 8.5 inch by 11 inch. It is your regular printing paper or copy machine paper. The brand is Recollections. Next, I do recommend you to use green floral wire if you're gonna make any flower that are going to take a lot of petals or gonna have a lot of petals on them, because they do get heavy, and when you hang them up you want them to stay still and not be floppy. And I'll show you how to use this in a bit. Next, most important thing next to the scissor and paper is that you'll need a glue gun and glue stick. Mine is already plugged in. And to cut your wire, you'll need a heavy duty scissor, which is what I have here. Using an 8.5 inch by 11 inch of paper, I'll be showing you how I cut these paper petals. Now when I do cut these, like I said, I do have like vision, or I do kind of picture it having like a bushy top or a round top with a trunk on the bottom here. And when I do cut, I don't start cutting small strips here, because to me that's a waste of paper. I want to cut so that it's a little bit bigger, so that when I'm done cutting them or whatever later, I can use them for like scrap or like for smaller flower shape like this one that I've showed you earlier. Just like that. Now, this could be saved for something else later. Same thing over here. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't really have to be symmetrical. It just has to be similar in size and shape. And then on the top here, I like to just make a round cut. Make it round. Now, if you notice, I do have a problem pronouncing some English words, but oh well. Doesn't matter to me. Now take a look here. It looks like a hot air balloon now with the basket here, the balloon up here if you can see it. Anyways, now this is the general shape you want. But to make it more unique and to make it more flower-like, like with the new technique I use, I start from the sides here, and I make my edges here, and I start to curve it like I just make wave with them. I don't know how to describe it, but you just create a wave. So here, it's wavy up here, so it's curved, wavy, curvy. But what you want to do here is you want to make sure that the tip here is, the curve or the tip here is up higher than the rest of here. Like this is a higher tip or round edge here. A smaller petal. What I do is, because I don't use a ruler to measure out my petals, or the first time I do create them, I use my first petal I cut and I line it up to the to the paper to the whole paper that has not been cut. And what I do is I picture in my head that I want a petal that's this much smaller and like down here is much smaller. So I just make a crease here and make a crease here, and then I just fold it straight across. And there you go. You have your smaller size paper. Again, don't worry about making it looking perfect because you can change it later. You can fix it later. Same thing here, curvy top. And you have your second size, just like that. And for my third size, I just I line it up like that, and it falls just perfectly underneath this this medium-sized petal. So it's just a perfect size. And when I actually line it up like this, it is I don't know how to describe it, but what I like to do is just fold it in half because I do know that this is the perfect height. And the width, I'm thinking it's the perfect width too. So, I mean, look at here, it's almost perfect, almost kind of like smaller. And now that you have your petals cut, I will show you how I cut them at the bottom here, kind of like here. So you can hot glue them and they can stand up like that, similar to real petals. Now, if you want, you can take a ruler and you can measure the center of the petal, or what you can just do like me, do it like me here, where I just, you know, fold it in half. And if you want, you can actually measure it, and it's about 2 inches up that you are going to be cutting. So 2 inches, and what you do is you can mark it, cut it 2 inches up, just like that. And then before you do hot glue it, I do recommend that you curve your edges. For me, I just freehand by curving it like that, rolling, curving, just like that. And there you have your curved petal. And when you hot glue them, they'll look just like this. This part is optional. What I like to do is poke a hole here and a hole across here, and this will help keep your flower upright when you are making or hanging the flower up like here. The way I hot glue these petals depends on how upright, like here, or how more like lean back I want the petal to be. Like, take a look here. It's bad video. Here we go. If it's more upright like this, or I do want it to be leaning back like that. So what I do is I kind of eyeball it again, and I just go like that. Okay, this looks like a good height. And I use that to help me guide how I should hot glue the petal. Before you start gluing your petal, you want to make marks like how I did here, just to know where you will put your petal. And when you are gluing your ends of the petal, you don't need a lot of glue to stick them together. Once you have marked where you want to put your petal, it's really easy. All you do is put the hot glue by the area that you marked, just like how I did here. As you can see here, I already glued the 10 outside petals. Here I'm experimenting with the angle of the petal. What I do is I try to find the angle that fits best for the petal. And when I do find an angle that works, I just start hot gluing the ends together. And once again, there's really no special technique for gluing your petal down. All you have to do is just spread it across the area that you want it to be attached. And you also want to apply pressure. And there you go. You have your inner petals. And I created innermost petals by using scraps. And this is how it looks like once you have glued your innermost petals.